Welcome back to Our Issues Birmingham. May I call you Dr. Brooklere?
Yes, you may.
You know he's Italian, and his given name was Brooklere.
Brooklere.
How special. I'd go
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
That's got a nice ring to it.
Yeah. A lot of people say that.
Yeah, I'm going to start calling you
But
that.
my dad adopted, well, his English teacher thought would be better to pronounce it phonetically, and that's how we came about
That's
with the name
America.
Brooklere.
Yeah.
That's America.
So we had recently Jabbo Wagner on our show, and we briefly discussed Medicaid in the state of Alabama and why we're not taking federal dollars. I think we're one of 3 states that perhaps will not participate. And I don't really understand, in light of our economic hardship in the state of Alabama, or at least it appears we have an economic hardship, why we're not doing that. Can you shed some light on that for
Sure.
us?
No, we get funds from Medicaid. They match our funds 1 to 2. In other words, a third is supported by.
So our
what you're
state money
speaking-
supports it, and the government
and the
matches
government,
it.
Yes.
So we're at 700 plus million now. We just learned.
Right, but what you're referring to is the expansion of Medicaid, and the governor chose not to participate, and his reasoning, I think sound, is that the feds will pay for it for several years, and then after that it falls on the state, and the state of Alabama could never afford the size that would become with that expansion.
Well, when you expand it, who are you expanding it to? I don't know.
Offer more services, include more people in the program, more than we have now, and we have a large percentage. I don't, off the top of my head, don't know what that percentage is, but it's a large number of people, and it's well needed. It serves a number of indigent people, and they need it and deserve it. Now, is there a lot of abuse of it? Certainly. Because it's no charge. Many of them go to the doctor more frequently than they would otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a financial crisis, not just for Alabama, for most all of the states and the federal government. It's a big problem, financial problem for the federal government. But as you and I know, they just print more money and get us deeper in debt.
Borrow more money from China.
Exactly. But I think there's a
interesting
solution.
to see how Donald Trump
It would be.
gets in there. If he gets in there, what's going to change that dynamic?
I don't know.
You don't have to talk about that.
Yeah.
But there is a solution, you say?
Well, I have one, and I'm not smarter than the legislators here. I'm not smarter than the federal government. But I have offered a solution, and I think it's justifiable. But the problem is it's not politically correct.
And what is that solution?
The solution is to have the recipients participate.
Like a copay?
A copay. The copay was started out in 1972 as 50 cents, and it still is. Well, to some extent, about 4 or 5 years ago, they raised it to $1. It's tiered. It depends on the price of the prescription. Some are $1, $3, and $4, and so forth. However, in my opinion, because of the financial crisis it brings to all the states and the feds, that they should participate more.
Well, just
it's
simply,
ridiculous.
Simply the inflation rate would be one issue.
It's ridiculous.
When
healthcare leaders were called in by Fob James to discuss things of this nature, I made that suggestion to him. And in a week's time, he went to $5 copay. But
he can do that?
No. The American Civil Liberties Union sued him, and we had to revert back. No, the feds control that. They have a very difficult or tedious formula for determining that. And the legislators could present something, in my opinion, to the feds, to CMS, to Get there.
Use another word on me.
Okay.
CMS.
Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, and petition them. It's just a plane ride up there and present it. And they have changed it for other states, but it's not politically correct. They're afraid of the people that
The fallout.
Exactly. But I did a study about 3 years ago, and it would have brought in. I suggested a $5 copay, which in my opinion is reasonable, or tiered, either one. But based on a $5 copay, it would have brought, if I can recall, $55 million. It would mean to the state of Alabama.
Into the state, which is a nice chunk.
Yes.
For a really short fuse
Exactly.
there.
And why the feds won't back off of that? You see, as I said, they control that. They tell us how much the copay is. We don't set that here. Our legislature does not set that. They follow the federal government.
Can you talk about Medicare for about 1 minute?
Medicare.
Can you cull it down?
I'll try.
I'll shut up.
I'll try. Medicare will continue to be funded, but at my pharmacies, all 3 of them, we sell durable medical equipment. And the people that are on Medicare had an allowance to that, had access to that. But we're seeing where the federal government, where Medicare, has cut back on that. And supposedly that money is now going to the Obamacare insurance thing and taking it away from the senior citizens. They no longer can get a wheelchair or a hospital bed that easily, and there's a lot of red tape, and families are buying it for their elderly.
Out of pocket.
Exactly.
They're having to.
Exactly.
That's just one of the many problems. I had my first doctor visit yesterday with my new red, white, and blue Medicare card. It's frightening. It's very frightening. A lot of paperwork, a lot of testing. Lots of tests. Thanks for being with us.
Glad to be here. Enjoyed it.
It was a great visit, and we'll have you back if you'll give us a chance.
We'll do it.
This is Our Issues Birmingham. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you next week.